Once in a while, you find a movie that really surprises you, and this film blew me away. It's called Last Night. It is a 1998 Canadian indie sort of drama film about the end of the world. It's a sort of ensemble film in a way, but they do it naturally. They don't do jarring cuts. But I really like the way that the film is presented. Basically, the sort of main character is Patrick. He is a man who isn't with anyone. He has a bit of an interesting past, but he starts the film having to go over to his parents for a Christmas dinner. It's not Christmas, but his parents want the family all together for one final meal. And then everyone has different plans for the end of the world. The end of the world is going to be happening at noon, so all these different people are trying to come up with whatever they want to do. So Patrick wants to just sit in his apartment alone, listening to his favorite records, maybe with some wine or champagne. There's another woman trying to get home to her husband before it's too late. There's Patrick's sister who's going to a sort of street party, almost like a New Year's celebration, to chime in instead of the New Year at the end of the world. And Patrick's parents and grandparents are going to just sit in the house and pray for the souls of everyone. There's also David Cronenberg plays a working man who spends the last day at work for some reason with his co-worker. There's also a man who's trying to have as much sex as physically possible with as many different fetishes as like fantasies as he can get. And there's a few more in there that are sort of spread out, but it's a really interesting film. It explores different themes. The movie never plays up the sort of violence. There's a little bit of violence, but it also explores, how people react. When you find out that mortality, you have it and it's ending, how do you react? Do you go to work and pretend everything's normal? Do you stay with your loved ones? The number one thing I was thinking of, like, the question asks you, the number one question that the movie asks you is like, what would you do if you only had like 3 hours left to live? And some people go looting, robbing, let off some steam, vandalizing. Other characters break down. So this movie has really good performances, especially Sandra Oh. The main guy's pretty good too. And since it's an ensemble film, it's sort of like it doesn't focus on one character too much, and it sort of hops around. And I really like the high level of emotion that's throughout the film. There's a sort of odd beat, sort of weird sense of humor. They don't really go for drama entirely. They go for some black humor as well. And the movie really surprises me. It's a wonderfully told story about different themes of loneliness and things like that. The movie is just absolutely wonderful. So I don't award this score very often, but I give Last Night a 10 out of 10.